Hello guys, this is What If Naruto Had a Stand? I'm not sure if I did something like this. Yeah, sorry. I'm just keep on posting it right now. So many what ifs. I have like 4 or 3 what ifs I'm gonna keep posting every single day. By the time I posted this is probably the time where I posted each and every single one of them. Today is 10/17/2021 at 4:08 p.m. So let's continue. Let's start with this great fanfic. It's what if Naruto was Dio or had his stand? Or had a stand? Just have to wait and see which one is it. And I like to shout out to Rotate Sid. Now let's get started with the golden secret. Naruto Uzumaki, getting of the village hidden in the leaves or Konoha. He's also known as the Jinchuriki of the nine-tailed fox. As of now, he's recently completed the second stage of the Chunin exams after narrowly defeating his opponent Kiba Inuzuka, despite having lost a drastic amount of control over his chakra. After he won, he made it to the finals and to the battle of the last year's Rookie of the Year, Neji Hyuga. As of now, we find the young boy searching for his sensei, who he just now spotted in the hospital. Kakashi sensei! Naruto shouted. Naruto, you should keep it down, we're in the hospital, he said, shushing the boy. Sorry sensei, I just wanted to ask. Kakashi raised an eyebrow. Let me check if this is recording. Everything is good. Y'all can hear me. Sorry, let's continue. I just wanted to ask. Kakashi raised his hand and silenced him. I'm sorry, Naruto, but I have to train Sasuke for the finals. He's facing Gaara, who's unstable and can kill Sasuke. So I can't spend time on you at all. You never spend time on me at all. You stupid ass hypocrite scarecrow, Naruto shouted, shocking everyone in the lobby. Naruto, calm down. I already had Ebisu train you, but you guess you're using a hypocrite who sees me as a damn fox? You know fucking damn well, Scarecrow. I hope Obito feels happy that you can use his memories and words of an excuse to bullshit others. With that, everyone was shocked. Kakashi grabbed his student as he tried to leave, only to be the wind knocked out of him by a student. How about you go suck the Uchiha's dick already? That's all you're good for. And by the way, I'm sure Minato will be ashamed of you. Before Kakashi could defend himself, Naruto left in a yellow blur, leaving everyone confused on how the fox brat learned the fourth Hokage's technique. Sorry, I had to take a quick break because my family heard me and now I'm in trouble. So I have to finish this real quick before I get killed. Thank you. Okay, now let's continue. The Mindscape. Naruto opened his eyes and stared at the former sewer turned into an Italian-style countryside. As he looked around, he started heading towards the cortege by the ocean and knocked on its door. Freak. Somebody's here. I seriously hate all those interruptions, but let's continue. Hopefully there's no interruption this time, excuse me. As he walked at the cortege by the ocean and knocked on its door. When it opened, it was revealed a crimson-haired man with a long ponytail wearing a baker apron with his face covered in powder along with heavily defined whisker marks. Experimenting with your pastry, Kurama Ojin-san? He asked, receiving a chuckle from the red-haired man and nod. Yes, Naruto. I saw what happened through the television. I can only imagine your parents' reaction. Your mother would have burned the town with her killing intent alone. Luckily, neither of us had enough energy to summon their souls, he explained. Naruto remembered when he met Kurama for the first time. He was at first completely hostile and angry, living in a small cage within a sewer. That day, he met the spirit of Dio Brando, an insane man who defeated Kurama and brainwashed Naruto into becoming his new reincarnation. A couple of years later, still playing fool, Naruto unexpectedly reunited with Kurama and his missing yin half after tampering with the seal. This is when he met his parents, Minato and Kushina. The two battled Naruto and woke him up from Dio's influence, only for the evil man himself to manifest again, leaving a power battle against the man. Naruto awakened to his own stand, golden experience under Duo's training. But as he reunited with the spirits of his parents, he reawakened the golden experience Rankium. I don't know how to say it. The family worked together along with Kurama to permanently seal away his powers within Kurama's seal and destroy Dio out of his existence. Naruto would never forget that day. So, if y'all don't get what I just said, it's just basically Naruto united with his parents and he met Dio and Dio trained him. And after he trained him, he kind of possessed Naruto into that evilness to become evil. But then Naruto met Kurama and tempered with the seal, and that made Kushina and Minato appear, and he saw Kushina and Minato, and Kushina and Minato put Naruto back into his right mind, and they fought Dio and sealed him away. I'm sorry, my cat. Come in. And they sealed him away. So yeah, I'm sorry if you all hear anything. It's just my cat trying to come in. And she won't come in when I open the door, so yeah, let's continue. Dio finally shattered as Golden Experience Requiem laid the final blow on the world, as Naruto did with Dio. What? Impossible! Dio! I am Dio! With that, Dio's power, the world was sealed away for possible use, but locked away regardless. Dio was gone, and Naruto's humanity returned, and despite having negative feelings about the villagers, he still believes he can create good and defy the ideals of the villagers have set against him. Since that day, Naruto changed of heart, turned into a pure world filled with fresh, greenery and nearby oceans. Kurama would later build a city here later and invite remnants of the Fox clan to join him and the seal until Naruto was sure it was safe for both of them to survive the unsealing, along with the possible unsealing town with them. This may be confusing because it's kind of confusing to myself, even though I'm reading it slowly. So I don't know, like this kind of doesn't make sense, and it kind of does if you kind of feel me. Like, I don't even know. Never mind. Let's just continue. If you get it, you're truly smart. I'm not gonna lie. Let's continue. Naruto decided to also seal away his intentional stand with Kurama along with the Jonathan version of Hermit Purple, believing he shouldn't have relied on his power but rely on hard work, training, allowing the occasional time when he or Kurama had the power to summon the souls of Minato and Kushina, who were excited to train their son but disappointed in what the village had done to him. In the end, Naruto refused to hold a grudge for their own blindness. Now we're here, sitting with now a peaceful fox spirit, eating the pastry he makes for the town in his seal. Another perk of the town was that he was able to eat and fulfill his hunger here, so he would not rely on ramen for it, and it was considered unhealthy. I don't mean to pry, but why are you here? Kurama asked. Naruto took a deep breath and sighed as he released a genjutsu Kurama used on him to hide his real appearance, revealing an old teenager with a longer, unkempt blonde hair turned poorly held down together by a ponytail. His eyes were revealed to be hetero- heterochromatic, as he had his father's blue eyes on the right but his mother's violet eyes on his left. Along with the drastic difference, he was 6'1", slim but with signs of masculinity. Kurama raised an eyebrow, as Naruto never once removed the genjutsu when Kurama first placed it on him. "I want you to unseal this stand," he answered boldly, and Kurama choked on his meal after hearing this. "What? Did you forget about Dio's influence?" he shouted. "I know, but I don't want the world. I just want to access the hermit purple and the golden experience, especially since it will take you and clan a few days to break the five prom seals," he explained, and Kurama sighed, knowing he is right. "Fine, I'll break the seals and hand them over to you. Since that pedophile ruined your chakra control, Ricardo has been crying since it caused an earthquake in the town and ended up destroying his cabbage stand." So basically, it's the thing. The seal. They basically they the freak. I can't say. They basically live in the seal. All of them. That's how I figured it out. Now I get it now. They live in a seal, and Kurama built a whole city in the seal, basically. So if Naruto takes damage in the seal, basically that means, or somebody makes the seal stronger, that means that the people inside it gets damaged. So yeah, now I get it. I think so. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah. Let's continue. "Fine, I'll break the seal and hand them over to you." His cabbage stand, he said as he left while Naruto finished his meal and put away his dish to wait in Kurama's living room to play his violin. One of the many skills he learned from the foxes and Dio were proper etiquette, policy, political, law, and of course music. Naruto sat on the stool and began to play through a symphony named after the seasons created by one of their elder fox named Antonio. This is one of the autumn. Minutes later, a small tremor was heard all over the town, along with someone screaming about cabbages. "My cabbages!" "Shut up, Ricardo!" screamed Kurama through his window. Naruto finished his symphony despite feeling the second tumor, and the more cries about the great green vegetable Ricardo found himself attached to. Kurama came back to confirm the unsealing by watching Naruto summon the gold experience requiem to have him pack up his violin and using hermit purple to grab one of Kurama's cinnamon buns from the kitchen. "Thank you, Oji-san. I will see you after the finals have ended, or if I'm in need of your assistance." So let me pull up the thing where basically how they look like those things. So yeah, this is how the purple hermit whatever looks like. I kind of forgot since I just forgot JoJo because I finished every episode of it like 3 years ago or two, or probably one, and I've started reading so much mangas that I even forgot a lot of stuff. And this is the stand. If you didn't know, that's a stand. And yeah, I just put it the world or whatever heavens. I don't remember. I'm too lazy because I ain't gonna do my research. I'm too lazy. Let's continue. As Naruto summoned the Golden Kurim to have him pack up his violin and using the purple hermit to grab one of Kurama's cinnamon buns in the kitchen. "Thank you, Oji-san. I'll see you after finals have ended. If I am in need of your assistance," said Naruto as he bowed his head and left the mindscape. Another fact about Naruto is how he had pretended to be as loud as an idiot like his mother, when in actuality he was intelligent and well mannered as his father, who thought things out of the first than running out in blindly like he pretended to do. Konoha, random training ground. So I showed you all of it. The second one. So when I say purple hermit, this is what it is. So if you're confused and you need to see it again, this is how it looks like. Because I know a lot of y'all are just doing something and you can't see and you have to come back to look. So yeah, this is the stand. Y'all can push back the video or stop it. I don't know if y'all want to look. This is Giorno stand, I think so. And yeah, I just wanted. Never mind. Let's just continue. Before starting to practice with this stand again, but with a few breathing exercises along the testing his instincts by gathering a few clones and that he can still manage to create even with his damage control. And to create damage control, he put on his blindfold, took out his violin, and hinged one of his clones into one of the opera singers from the Mindscape town. He positioned himself to play a song with the opera singers as she sang Queen of the Night aria. Training immediately began as the he what as training immediately began as the he played the first chord and the singer started singing higher and louder, leaving the clones with an opportunity to use their true precision to take an aim at the original Naruto while he plays blindfolded. He plays and dances around in the projectiles as if they were a ballroom piled with people. A few times he ducked his head, twirled on his foot, and even backflipped all around, even all without running the chords of his violin or interrupting the singer. Even a few times as he catch a kunai with his mouth and spit them back out, one of his clones, and destroying it out of existence. He basically sends it back to one of his clones. After he finished destroying the clones by the end of the song, he dispelled the opera singer and removed his biphone, after catching several foreign kunai. So he basically took it. Once a kunai was thrown, he basically used his mouth and sent it back to them at the same speed. He looked to see the second exam proctor, Anko Mitarashi, and saw her smirking while she tossed one kunai, only for him to catch it with his fingers. And snap it. Between said fingers, Mitarashi-san, I'm afraid this was very private performance. Please return in 1 month, he said in a calm voice. With an emotionless voice, Uncle tilted her head in confusion at the statement. Who are you? She asked, feeling interested in the strange chiseled figure before her. He sighed and kept his calm attitude, but used his loud, childish voice. Forest of Death doesn't sound anything so scary. It then hit her. You're the brat with the kill me orange jumpsuit. How the hell did you change? She asked. Naruto sighed again. The scarecrow showed his desire for the Uchiha doctrine by abandoning me, so I took it upon myself to practice my real skills. Now, if you excuse me, I have to continue, he said as he registered his violin. I could help you, she said, with a look of glee. I doubt it. My skills are completely different levels than you. Care to prove it with a bet? She said. If I win, I get to help you out, and you owe me all the dangos I can shove down. It literally said I can. Okay, let's just continue. I can shove down in my throat. Pause. Until the final starts. Huh? If I win, you have to leave me alone, and you have to dress more like a lady, he said with a hint of humor, and have to dress in a bunny costume. She fumed out, but nodded anyways. Before they took a defensive stance, Naruto clapped his hands with the leading to multiple shadow clones in tuxes of each taking an instrument, but one taking center as he was about to sing. Entertainment to stir the mind. Don't get too distracted by my beautiful works. I'm not gonna sing. He said, only making Anko grow a tick mark. They began as soon as the instruments started playing, while the singer performed the Barber of Seville. Anko quickly tossed the multiple shuriken, only for Naruto to stand there and flick them away with his finger without effort. As she tried rushing him, head on with a quick taijutsu, only for Naruto to either dodge them and block them with one hand, eventually tripping her. When she was frustrated from not landing her attacks, Anko tried to pull out his signature snakes to try and snake on him and to snack on him, only for Naruto to activate his hermit purple and grab each one of the snakes by their necks with the electric thorns. The purple electric thorns, if you don't know. And Anko finally lost and started throwing everything from weapons to snake and physically trying to hit him. At the end, she took her temper out of the band of clothes, causing them all to panic before dispelling. Ah! What what did music ever do to you? She only fumed at his witty remark. You are so dead, brat. She violently started swinging at him with the kunais in both hands, only Naruto to go behind her and chop her neck. For his own safety, he placed chakra draining seals on her and started to tie her up and gag her. Never mind. Please, I never said anything, so yeah. He sat up against a tree and decided to start walking towards the nearby lake next to the training ground. Naruto took a deep breath and started walking on the water as if they were dry land, As he walked, he started leaking golden energy and started creating floral shaped patterns wherever he stood. He created several more shadow clones and started battling them while maintaining control of his powers on the lake without falling or losing focus out his of his breathing. He was left in a tranquil state of battle until he heard screams from multiple voices. Naruto Uzumaki! He may have heard the name, but did not lose his focus, but quickly finished off his last bunch of clones, but twirling on his foot like a ballerina and activating a enchantment turtle amulet to slash his clones. He took several deep breaths and looked towards the voices to see an angry Kuronai Yui, Yago Uzuki, and Anko. May I help you, ladies? He said with a blank tone, but laughing inwardly. Damn it, why the hell did you tie up Anko? She was struggling for an hour, screamed Yugo, for my own safety, along with anyone who in the rage of her irritation, he deadpanned. Meanwhile, he filled the entire lake with his energy, without the knowledge of the trio. If you feel like seeking revenge, then I will let you take it, he said blankly, moving his hand to his cheek and putting his other hand on his elbow. Anko let out a growl as she ran out to Naruto, attempting to use her chakra to run at Naruto only for his energy to make her sink in the water. Chakra will not help you here. And Jonin Yuhai, I highly recommend you not finishing those hand signs. Genjutsu will affect me in the States. Kuranai discarded the statement only to end with the ram, waiting only a few seconds, only for Naruto to continue a stare at her. While Yugaho joined with Anko, who were both struggling to reach him, desperate their chakra becoming useless. If I didn't know any better, Kuranai said, I'd assume you're in love with me. Is that why you're staring at me? It was difficult to tell whether or not she was red from anger or embarrassment, as she made an unreadable expression. Soon enough, she joined Yugao. I can't say it's basically Yugao. Yugaho? That's Yugiho. I don't know how to say it. I'm just gonna call her Yugiho. I'm gonna get monetized for that. Not that. Yugo. I'm free. I'm just gonna call her Rin, okay? Rin. So you got her, whatever. This is how she looks like. I don't know what to say here, but I'll just call her name Rin. If you see it, you see it. I do not care. So that's how she looks like to me. Her name is Rin. So please do not demonetize me since I already showed what why. Please just don't demonetize me. Let's continue. For my own safety, along with anyone who's in the rage. Oh, sorry, I'm in the wrong one. I'd assume. Wait, yeah. After 20 more minutes, he walked back into the dry land. After being bored of the constant death threats from my uncle, you lost your bet, and yet you're still here trying to kill me with back up no less. Yet no one could even touch me. I'm disappointed. The three only fumed, formerly orange clad boy. If any of you wish to seek me, I'll be out eating, he said, leaving the area in a yellow flash before Anko could get her hands on him, leaving Yugaho and Kurenai panting while Anko punching a tree out of existence at a speed that would make a star planet blush. The fuck? Never mind. Meanwhile, Naruto appeared excuse me, excuse me again, right on the corner of Ichiraku Ramen. He thought back at the day he set his sight here. He sat down on the window stool and closed his eyes, thinking of the day he saw the ramen stand. Diamond is unbreakable. OST. Internal sadness. Before he met Dio and almost sucker band to his hate, he was sad and alone and left to starve. One day, he saw a little girl and her father making bowls of ramen. He saw them happy, serving customer who turned laughed with glee until they left their faces and turned to scowl. They saw young Naruto and spat at him. He started to cry, and that didn't go unnoted by the father and daughter duo. So basically, his customer just spat on Naruto in case y'all thinking that the ramen guy did it. Now let's continue. Hey kid, Teochi grabbed the young attention. Come here for a second. He told him. Naruto was scared at first, but complied as he was too starved to have enough energy to run. I bet you haven't eaten anything in a while. Am I right? He asked. Yes, sir, he answered in a weak voice. Soon, the two disappeared in the back and came back 5 minutes later with a hot bowl. Teacher gestured towards the bowl, and Naruto tasted, feeling joy. The food itself tasted like happiness. He soon cried the tears of joy as Teruchi offered him two more bowls. Thank you for the meal, sir. How much will that be? He asked as he began to take the money out of his frog-shaped wallet. No need, my boy. Today it will be on the house. Come by sometimes whenever you feel hungry, okay? Naruto nodded and left. Since that day, Naruto would visit Ichiraku whenever he had money or a coupon that Saratobi gave him. Then Ichiraku would treat Naruto or ramen only to regret as he felt pain through his wallet. Whenever Naruto would visit the family ramen stand, it was as if he could forget the world entirely. Like everything was just like family basically there. I don't know how to explain the feelings because I wasn't there and I don't know how to explain it. So yeah, he referred to Tucci as Oji-sama. It means uncle or old man, and Ayame as Nichan, sister. It means sister. And he would brighten their day as they would do the same in return. End of the song. Oh, that was a song? Well, I ain't singing it. Hello? Can I help you? Asked Ayame, shaking Naruto out of his thoughts. Naruto said, and looked up and to see a beautiful Ayame. Yes, I have my usual set of bowls, Ayame. He asked, giving her a confused look. Uh, do I know you? Ayame looked at him closer. You actually look kind of Ayame never finished as a shadow covered Naruto's eyes. As a loud as a loud gong went off. Think of the time Hashirama learned Tsunade was Hokage. This joke will be around for a little while. Am I really that hideous without my genjutsu? Perhaps revealing my face was a terrible idea. Naruto finally stated it, not even looking at Ayami, but keeping the shadow of his eyes, only for her to notice the shade of blonde hair, whisker marks, and blue eyes before the shadow covered them. Finally, she noticed his body aged up a bit, and his attire was tight dark blue outfit with a heart shape around his chest, practically revealing his perks. You know it, the man and the put that down there. We saw nothing. Let's continue. Oh my god, Naruto? Why do you look so attractive? She blushed at her last words, keeping the shadow over his eyes. So I'm good looking, but I'm the only supposed to ugly with I'm only supposed to ugly with the stupid orange outfit. To think I'd call you sister, I no longer could regret not telling you about your beauty, Ayame. Felt bad for them to just blush at his last few words. Please, just tell me your order, then I'll be out of your hair. Deep down, Naruto was practically threatic, and while inwardly was laughing at her reaction, she nodded, and after a few moments or minutes, she came back with a bowl in a tow. Ayame could only glance at Naruto's new look, the provocative outfits, his new hairstyle, the muscles, the developed face, and the nothing something out of a character. He was eating at a slow pace and wiping himself with a napkin. Naruto, why did you improve your manners? When did you improve your manners? Naruto looked up and finally revealing his blue eyes. A world without manners is a world without value. Like I've deceived people with my physical looks. I've deceived people with my antics. He stated painfully, only leaving more questions and unanswered. Thank you, Ayame-chan, for the meal, he said as he looked and paid for his bill. But before he made it as far, Ayame called out for him. Naruto, wait! When I couldn't recognize you, your name was Gorno Givona. Why does it sound familiar? She asked. Naruto sighed, deciding the answer will only leave more questions for Ayame to pick up. It was a real name my parents gave me, but the Okage changed to hide my name from my parents' enemies, he answered, then left. But for Ayame, thought struck her head. Minato and Kushina mentioned that name when they were alive. Ayame was still alive and a little kid when that happened, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure how old is she. If she's 27, she would have seen Naruto. But if she was a little kid by then, she would have been older by now. So yeah. She's probably older and she already heard all of that. How long a minute is this? It's been 30 minutes and I'm on the second chapter. Damn. Like this, and let me tell y'all something real quick. All of these scripts are just like you can't read it so fast. Like once you scroll down to it, it's so fast, but then just reading it, it's so slow. Let's continue. It was a bright day. A little Ayame was only a toddler when she started helping her father in the kitchen. Whenever she wasn't in school, today was the only one of those days. As she was helping, you could hear Kushina screaming out for Teuchi to cook ramen up for the two of them. And Minato, yes, Kushina was about to hit 9 months into her pregnancy. They were ready to announce the name of the child in the afternoon for all of those who were curious about the child of the Yellow Flash and the Red Death of Konoha. The two sat down while an excited Ayame started looking and asking Kushina a million questions about the baby, who was just as excited to answer them. Kushina also loved being around Ayame because the little girl always looked up to Kushina's courage and strength. Eventually, for I kinda eventually where was I again? Eventually, she started referring the Red Death as her older sister. You know, Ayame-chan, if you play your cards right, you could end up with being my baby's wife. Ayame quickly blushed. Kushina quirked an eyebrow with a serious expression. What? You don't want to be the father-in-law? I mean, my daughter-in-law someday? She asked, only for the little girl to become redder than a pregnant woman's hair, leaving both men laugh at their embarrassment. Before they left, Kushina felt a tug on her little dress to see little Ayame-chan. Ni-chan, it wouldn't hurt to tell me the baby's name, would it? Kushina only smiled at the child. Would you like to know the name of your future husband? Maybe even take his last name? Ayame blushed more but nodded in a furiously only for Kushina to laugh. Well, I have to tell you a quick story, okay? Ayame nodded. Well, you see, Minato-kun's last name isn't really Namikaze. I think that's my parents. Never mind. I'm not sure, so yeah, let's just continue. He changed it because all the boys thought his real name was Girly. But now, since he earned the respect of all the villagers, he wants to change it back. I want to take it because I love him. Understand? So what's his name? Giovanna. My real name is Minato Giovanna. Minato answered with a smile. Then, while we were thinking about the baby, and we learned he's going to be a boy, while we went through numerous names, we settled on the two. Kushina continued, then Minato spoke up again. We settled for either Naruto, for my character, for my sensei's look, or Kushina-chan's father's name, Giorno. Kushina smiled at the name, despite only having a few memories of the man before her parents died, and was later sent to Konoha to live with Mito and Tsunade after Uzu fell. Y'all probably thinking, wasn't her dad the owner? Wait, never mind. That was her grandfather, I think so. Cause wasn't Kushina like a royal Uzumaki, I think? I'm not sure. Or probably just got mixed up by another whatever what they said. Probably that's a thing. So yeah, sorry for my blabbering. Let's continue with this great what if. Yes. So I came to the conclusion that we both agreed his name is Giorno Giovanna. Kushina finished. So you're going to call him Gio? Kushina was surprised by his one, but laughed it off and held the girl closer. Yes, I guess we will. Our little Gio. Gio. Back in the present, Iono snapped out her thoughts as she couldn't see Naruto anywhere else. She clung to her shirt as if she tried to reach her heart as she cried tears of joy. Soon Teuchi arrived at the stand preparing orders and noticed her crying. I went up to her feeling concerned. Sweetheart, what's wrong? He asked. Gil, that sounds so gay. Please, anything that I say is no homo. I don't even really care no more. She whispered only for more tears to fall. I'm sorry? He asked unable to hear his daughter. Gio. She said, Gio's a daddy. I'm not gonna say daddy, I'm too lazy for that. Go Gio Gio alive, she said, hugging the man, letting her tears fall onto his shirt. Ayame, teacher, remember the day Kushina announced she was having a boy, and later said they will name him after her father with Minato's last name. Then then him, a ramen lover, a blonde with blue eyes, someone screaming out becoming Hokage, another Uzumaki. For some reason, having the other name Kushina considered for her baby. Could Ayame be right? Giorno Gavana is alive. Tiuchi. So basically she calls him the daddy, whatever, daddy. And I just call him Tiuchi because I'm too lazy to say all of those words. And I ain't trying to get flamed because I know some of my friends be listening to this and they're gonna flame my ass. So yeah, please don't flame me in the comments. Please don't. Then Tiuchi hugged her back, feeling surprised as well. Meanwhile, with Naruto, he took a deep breath and started practicing his abilities his father passed down to him, along with help he gained when he absorbed the mix of Dion and Jonastar memory. During his last confrontation, his father used his energy to create Tobirama Senju's space-time teleportation jutsu, the Haraishin, finally allowing the user to go through greater distance, along with the teleporting with others. And finally, no one use of the kunai with seals. No use of the kunai with the seals, so they don't have to have the kunai with the seals like how Minato does it. That idea became obsolete as Minato studied his powers. The ability of Naruto was practicing his secret was called Hamon, an ancient fighting technique that a few had but was lost to man. Only the remaining Giovannas had access to it. But with the destruction of his father's estate during the Fox attack, his knowledge to the power was limited, as all he had to practice his breathing and techniques only surface such as liquid, ice, and metal can conduct the energy. I'm reading so fast that I can't get it. Hopefully y'all can get it since I don't know when my mouth feels dry because I did too much. It just hurts. Now let's continue. And he walked out with the proper practice and control. Hamon can stop weapons and projectiles and be used as shields while also having the ability to stop chakra-based attacks. Meanwhile, Naruto will have to reveal his secret technique to block against the stubborn Hyuga only signature technique, but he'll have to save his standards for Gara in case of the boy does to prove any unstable his tail beast. Whew, I'm so tired today. I'm sorry, let's continue. He would continue to practice his Hamon and regain comfort using his hands within the month and create more Hamon techniques. 1 month later, exam stadium. Naruto decided this would be the day he would reveal everything, not only his appearance, abilities, but has his origin as well. He asked Kurama to create his Genjutsu on to Naruto so he would retake the facade, the idiot, and the shock the entire village. As he made his way next to Shikamaru, the other contestants, minus the missing Sounin and Sasuke. Clearly, Kakashi likes to bullshit around. That would likely get Sasuke's free pass. Otherwise, he would just make up some excuse, and the council will favor up Sasuke a pass and probably do his best to make sure Naruto doesn't get his promotion. That's probably why Naruto has been getting this whole entire life, and that's why he never mind. Naruto sighed and took out his position across Neji. Give up now, Uzumaki. Fate has been decreed that I will win. Naruto only popped his head. You're like that shitbag who abandoned me since day one. I wonder Lord Hokage was under the a genjutsu to believe the scarecrow would remotely be a good idea to become a sensei. All always scolding me, ignoring me, almost leaving me for the dead, while he praises that harpy and spoiled child just so he could leave me with the blame. He said, shocking a good portion of the crowd, especially all the sensei. Saratobi was next to the Kazekage, thinking about what Naruto said. So Kakashi, is this true? If you don't make it on time, there you'll be in this time to think. Then you will be in this time to think. I may have you believe your nonsense about Naruto being the main cause of the issues behind your mission, yet I dedicated his pay and threatened to put him on probation throughout Saratobi. Thought Saratobi. If you believe in fate, you should have rolled overboard your head like a good dog in front of the main house members, regardless if this one wanted to take over, abolish that glorified tattoo. If anything, I can imagine Hinabi taking the title for fairness and enforcing the seal. Neji scowled, but listening before he could retort. That interesting Hinata is as soft as lacks the confidence, but what makes her so insecure is her will, and that you could have killed her. Your hope to the suffering of your fellow branch members. You know nothing about pain. I don't know how to say it. Like, yeah, it's basically PFFT. Like, I don't know how to say it. I'm not gonna act like a child doing that shit. Uh, whatever, whatever. Not like you had to dig out of the garbage until a nice father and daughter fed you, but wouldn't know anything about being homeless, would you? Said Naruto as he went throughout his mind. I, throughout his hand signs, but continued talking. But you will never know the feeling of dreads when you see his faces of all the future babies of the branch houses who will be forced to wear a seal that's even more harmful. Hinabi would clearly do anything for daddy's approval, even if it means killing potential security risks such as the one who nearly ended her big sister's life. And with that, Neji let out a war cry and charged Naruto, only to miss his attacks and take a knee chin. Clearly, clearly, wouldn't words will not affect you. May brute force will. Naruto landed on his final hand sign, release, and suddenly, before everyone stood a taller Naruto, older and slightly more muscular. Naruto with the histrom heteromatic chromatic face and eyes. I held back for so long and played the fool. This time, I'll release everything before Konoha, he said in a deeper voice. Fate is on my side. No matter what you believe. Life was decided when you were born on this source. You talk too much. Mura! Shouted as landed a hard punch on its face that broke the sound barrier. Golden Wind. OST. Theme. Basically, I'm talking about the songs or whatever, the OST, whatever. Neji quickly got up to get into a defensive position, only for Naruto to kick him hard from behind and force him onto the ground, not wanting to let him have a time to breathe. The blonde rushes his opponents, only for Neji to have to wait for the right moment and finally land to hit on the blonde. But as the crowd cheers, Naruto quickly ran into a headbutt and gave him a headbutt before hit registers, knocking the Hyuga back down. The true trade blows back and forth for a few moments, but sadly, Neji Naruto was using his Hamon to defend against his chakra based attacks, leaving Neji to take more hits than Naruto. Have enough, Neji activated his Byakugan. You are in the rage of my devastation. Devastation. 8 trigrams, 64 palms. But before he could attack, Naruto ripped out part of his hair out and started to fill it with Hamon and threw them in front of him. Sorry about that. Just my PC dying. Frick, I'm making too much ranting. Oh, sorry about that destruction. Now, let's continue. Sorry about that. You were in rage of my devastation. 8 trigrams, 64 palm. But before he could attack, Naruto ripped half his hair off and started to fill it with Hamon and threw them in front of him to create a barrier from the yellow, thus nullifying the Hyuga's clan signature attack. Neji didn't even notice until it was over that he saw the energy blocking his attack, while Naruto looked at the disinterested in the fight. Time for me to end this. The whole match was boring and felt completely pointless. Clearly, a good beating will knock some sense into you. Naruto charged up some more Hamon and knocked him back a few feet with a roundhouse kick to the face, charging him. Neji activated the Kai Ten, shocking Hisashi and Hinabi, along with the Hyuga elders at the attendance. However, Naruto only charged with the faster and started striking the dome. My abilities, if you haven't already noticed, cancel chakra based attack like this, leaving spear of chakra you're using. And with that, the spear fell apart with all the punches, but not stopping there. Neji came to counter with a good portion of those attacks. Time to end this! Mura 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 mura! Screamed Naruto, sending a flurry of Hamon-powered punches at Neji, finally knocking him out. Thus, it was only fate to realize. Fate was a redoing ideals as his statement contradicted himself. For I explained how fate. Huh? I'm just kidding. I'm going to lock the door. Winner Naruto Uzumaki by knockout. Suddenly, the crowd cheered wild as they saw the amazing spectacular of the dead last kicking around a former rookie year like an empty car on the street. As he walked away, someone from the stands followed him into the hallway where he briefly left the competitor's side to find himself a drink nearby the vending machines. Y'all may know who this is, but I don't care. Gyo, he felt surprised and he saw Ayame standing behind him. Is that really you? She asked. He sighed. Is that how I suppose you refer to me? You refer to me as? Yet for my own safety as Yokage decided to call me fish cake instead. He said, earning a slight giggle, and you must be the girl who my mother wanted to become her daughter-in-law. He asked, earning a blush. I'll take that as a yes. Ayame went up to him and hugged him tightly. He returned the hug. How? She asked. How what? How did you know your name? You said the Okage had to hide it. Didn't he tell you? Naruto shook his head. No, Ayame-chan. That I would tell you to be considered even greater secret than not even the sun dying or the fire dying, you know. Ayame, you already know about the nine-tailed fox, right? As Naruto told her about everything. Well, will you... She interrupted. Maybe if Tuichi-san is okay with me calling him Tosan. And Naruto smiled and kissed her forehead. I'm hoping to announce after my sensei left, I thought it would reveal my true stop and letting others step all over me. Ayame smiled, seeing the man she was once saw as her little brother. Before he left, Ayame gave him a quick kiss on the cheek and whispered into his ear. That was for good luck, Gio. Then the Okage just announced Sasuke Uchiha was gonna be disqualified. Gaara, the desert winner by default, shouted Gemma, earning his round of a boss. Naruto, please come down here, he shouted. Naruto decided to show off using his golden. Oh, the Okage just announced that Sasuke has been disqualified. The other competitors minus Gaara, who was feeling bloodthirsty, shouted Gemma starting the second round of the exams. So he floated down the ring, and yeah, the next chapter. I'll probably be stopping this chapter because my family's starting to coming back because we're in a long trip, and they'll probably start annoying me. So yeah, I'll be stuck in the middle of it, or I might just pause the video, and that'll be a 1 hour video. Now let's continue. Naruto took his stance as he saw the bloodthirsty Gaara in the bloodlust in Gaara's eyes, but managed to keep a calm demeanor. Are they both contestants ready? Both nodded. Hajime! Naruto charged Gaara, who began to shoot waves of sand shuriken. He easily dodged them, came to a difficult part, penetrating the sand. Then again, do physics still apply to the sands? Naruto tests the theory, but keeps gear on standby if his physical plans failed. Naruto lands a few attacks, hitting Gaara's shield off the sand, but even with Hamon, the sand managed to rebuild almost as quick as Naruto's barrage of punches, leaving a forced Naruto to return back to the sand forming. Never mind. It just keeps on confusing me because he keeps on mixing up letters like a lot, so I can't read them all together. If he keeps on making all them letters become together into one whole letter, so yeah. Like Naruto sends a few back. I don't remember. Let's continue. Naruto sends a few back, either study Gaara's attack patterns or distract his son's attacks in hopes of confusing Gaara. The sand user takes the bait to continue to throw his attacks around in hopes of attacking the real blonde. Gaara only had a split second to react as he created a sand dome over him which barely managed to hold off against his suicidal clones. The rest also took the chance and armed themselves with explosive notes. The original tossed past to them, causing the dome to be several weakened. Okay, time for my trump card. Golden experience. At the words that the stand formed and appeared visible to everyone as Naruto focused his chakra on gear to make him physically visible for the naked eye. This was for show. However, as for the stand, it punched Gaara, shocking his siblings. That this was the second time it has ever landed on their younger. Oh, it's not Naruto's siblings. If y'all confused the same as me. Shocking Gaara's siblings. Gaara shocking his siblings. And that was the second time he ever landed a punch on their younger brother. For Gaara, he was under the illusion that he dodged it, but went behind the Uzumaki, believing he suddenly froze in terror and tried to summon his sand with the intention of killing his opponent with a sand boreal. As he heard the cheers from his mother, he stood there waiting for him, moving around his slow opponents, only to notice that his sand are not moved at all, until his vision shocked him. For once in my life, he was able to feel absolute pain. Mura 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 mura! Screamed the gear as Gaara didn't even have the chance to recall his sand. Everyone became dumbstruck, including the Kazekage. as Gaara turned into a little punching bag, taking 100 hits in a second. The monster they all saw, Naruto summoned, finally settled, sending Gaara flying into a wall with a sickening crunch. Diamond is unbreakable. OST, fight, fight. Uh, so that's basically I think the song, the theme song, whatever, or the background. As Gaara stood, he opened his bloodshot eyes and started laughing. Yes, yes, Uzumaki, you will prove my existence, Gaara screamed as his body started to fuse with the sand and started taking the form of a sand raccoon. Naruto wouldn't stop Gaara from becoming more unstable, along with a drastic boost in speed and strength. Without realizing, Gar was behind him and started slashing his back and tossing him around, proving that he was no longer sit idle while his prey tried to hunt him. What's wrong, Uzumaki? You were doing a fine a moment ago. Naruto refused to listen to his mock and sent several more exploding clones, only for the Biju-powered psychopath to start popping them before they could reach him. Naruto was running out of options, and know he didn't know too many jutsu since Kakashi refused to ever acknowledge him, and the only other jutsu he knew was the Haraishin and the Rasengan. With the letter requiring him to attack within the close range. Sorry, let's continue with this story. I had to take a quick stop. I know I'm taking so many stops in this video. It's probably because I just did about 10 videos back. And then I did another video right now. So my voice is kind of hurtful because I've been doing videos all day. Naruto was running out of options. Sorry about that. He had a decent taijutsu that wouldn't work either, and his genjutsu was terrible, as and his disguise relied on Kurama's power. Fox said his body wasn't ready to handle training in his tailed beast form just yet. So Biju form versus Biju form wasn't possible yet. Finally, Fuinjutsu was the only recently picked up. He was still an amateur and didn't get far enough to develop the five-pronged seal, since none of the Fox clan members had any Fuinjutsu knowledge. Wait, that's it! Perhaps Kurama or some of the foxes could lend me a hand with this thing. But his thoughts were interrupted when all the clones popped, and Gaara grabbed him and slammed him on the ground. As he tried to get free, Shukaku fired. Gaara was laughing. Feed. Gaara was laughing at his misfortune, at his insane red staring beating blonde. Ayama was looking from the stand and started covering her eyes and held back the tears. Meanwhile, at the ramen stand, Tuichi was cooking up the bowls as the many customers came up in order to food while watching the exams. But all were laughing, seeing the demon brat being pumped. Naruto saw Ayame starting to tear up, couldn't help but feel anguish. But then Gaara stopped from her, and when he saw the look he was giving Ayame, is that what concerns you? Someone close isn't. You're going to die. Oh, think about someone else. Then a malicious idea popped up into his head. Let's see how much is left when she's gone. Ha 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 ha. Then Gaara let go of him, run off to the crowd. As Naruto did his best, stand up, but kept falling down. The sense of dread hitting him. Ayame was in danger, as he couldn't do anything to stop it. Naruto only imagined the event unfolded. Gaara ripping through the civilians who couldn't get away. No! He kept dragging himself. No matter what, within him, a new fire burned. Inside the seal, Kurama and the Fox clan shivered as they felt the intense sensation that shook the entire world within the seal. Something unnatural, unexpected. The boy they were all residing has awakened his bloodline. The one Kurama hasn't been seen since the Battle of the Valley of the End, many decades ago. Y'all may know this, y'all may not. Ooh, this is about to be fun. I can already tell this is about to be exciting. With Naruto, he ignored the pain and used all his chakra he could muster up in his working palm and started forming a blob of chakra. Gaara was feeling thrilled as he was about to reach the stands where Ayame was sitting. Everyone immediately attempted to get away, screaming, "Ah!" When Sarutobi was terrified by this sight and started gathering Ambu to intercept Gaara and prevent casualties. But that all ended as soon as the whole area began to shake. Sarutobi remembered this feeling once, was completely unsure if it was reality or the imagination. The few elders who sat at the stadium could only look in the awe, including Konoharu and Homura, who were in the attendance. They all felt this strange anomaly before, as Sarutobi did. Before. The insane Tanuki could warn Gaara. Wood began exploding out of the ground, and the arena forcing Gaara to retreat as a pillar aimed piercing him. He soon looked back at Naruto, who was slowly making his way to Gaara, while forming a spear-shaped energy made out of chakra. "What is this? What are you doing? Why does Mother fear this power?" he demanded, but Naruto refused to even look at him in the eye. His vision was clouded by rage. Before Gaara could even attack, he felt the wood piercing his legs as the wood pillars wrapped around his arms and neck, eating away the chakra, slowly forcing Gaara back into his original form. Naruto only began to get closer. "You threatened somebody I care about. You did it to outbreak me? Now you are the fly caught in the spider web." She wasn't the most precious person, one of the few that saw me as myself, and not that damn fox. "And you try to take that away from me?" as he said, as he gained the strength to run at Gaara with a fully charged Sengun and an unknown power in his spear at his chest. Rasengan! Everyone in the stadium only saw a bright light, a blue spear of chakra, appealing, blinding. Everyone was causing a loud smoke. Sarutobi felt concerned as to what happened to surrogate grandson and went as far to ordering his Anbu to clear the smoke. The squad member acknowledged the order and used wind jutsu to clear the smoke. Shocking results. "No way! Kankuro! Impossible! Temari! Troublesome blonde Shikamaru plus a wind fan to the head by Temari. Gyo! Ayame, Naruto, using Sarutobi. That damn brat ruined everything, thought the Kazekage. Gemma spoke up, getting everyone's attention. Winner by knockout. Everyone who was still in shock or couldn't see still waited in his patience. The Konoha 12 couldn't believe their eyes. The sensei cursed Kakashi for not being here for a student, and the sand team were ready to have a stroke. Teyuchi and the customer just stood there as if they were comatose as what the television was showing them. Everyone failed to understand what had happened. From someone simpler minded, as in Inuzuka or Akamichi to Nara and Aburame, could not register the events inspired to lead to this event. The crowd broke out of its stupor, and they heard Gemma speak up. "Naruto Uzumaki!" The crowd remained silent until someone from the VIP section stood up and clapped, causing the others, the common civilians up in the wind, and the fire daimyo himself to cheer for the blonde. As for Naruto, he was heavily breathing, looking at Gaara's body that returned to its original states, ignoring the sudden cheers, whistling. He completed, didn't notice the fact that he activated a lost dormant bloodline. You couldn't practically say that was a bloodline, it was just a Ashura's power. Naruto stood there refusing to move in order to keep avoiding awakening his pain. His face covered in blood, his blood was scared. His body scared and slowly being healed by Kurama. The medical team immediately grabbed him and placed both of them and Gaara on a separate stretch. But before they took them away, the two appeared in a swirl of leaves, causing everyone to look at them. I relate. And that's gonna be the end. Not the end of this part. And we don't know who those two figures might be. Y'all already know them, and some may not know that, and some of them may not know them. So, well, I think I'm done with this video. I had to shout so much. And plus, my parents just came up, so yeah. And tell me if y'all want more of this video. Like, yeah. I know my voice was really high because it was at 5% where it's too high. There's basically a mixed audio. And I'm using OBS, so my voice is really high. So yeah, sorry about that. If y'all had earphones and my voice was so high, I should have said reduce the volume, but I just wanted my voice to become higher because some people couldn't hear me. And yeah, thanks for watching. Goodbye, Darksiders. Make sure you hit that sub button, and join my Discord. Link in description. And I'm looking for a writer. If y'all are writers, please come to me and I'll register you. I don't know, since I need about 5 writers. One to be writing like any what if they want. So I'll give them a chance to write a what if they want, and then I'll just do it for them, and I'll make sure I shout out y'all. So yeah, my Discord link is in the description. Just DM me, and then I'll just hope you already have a Discord server for it. So whoever was asking in the comments, I have the Discord server. Another Discord server basically for my writing and everything. So yeah. And peace. Goodbye, Darksiders. And be straight.